In this video I will talk about my final team for game week 31. Now I start with the goalkeeper. Dubravka will be my goalkeeper. He had a clean sheet last week. And now they play against Fulham away, a difficult match. I'm not sure if Robin Roos will start for Sunderland, but I think it's a good idea to put Dubravka as my goalkeeper against Fulham. Robin Roos might not start against Newcastle United. If you look in defense, then I made 2 transfers in defense because I'm thinking now I might use the free hit, but I think I'm not going to use my free hit because I need my free hit in game week 34. Game week 31 is a difficult game week with 4 teams not playing: Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Arsenal and Wolverhampton. But I'm not going to use the free hit. I save it to game week 34. But there will be not a blank game week. I'd rather save it for later. But it also means I had to do in total 3 transfers to make up for that. Otherwise I wouldn't have enough players. I had to make 3 transfers to make sure I have 11 players. It also means I had 2 hits to do. I lost 8 points. So I made 2 hits, which means minus 8. I lose 8 points. On the other side, the 2 players who come in might get some points. And one of the players I got in is Anderson from Fulham and also Hall from Newcastle United. So Hall is a new player into my team, Lewis Hall, the left back from Newcastle United. They play against Sunderland. And Matheus Nunes, I transferred him out because Nunes is not going to play this weekend. The same goes for Joachim Anderson from Fulham. Fulham plays against Burnley at home. I transferred Chalobah out. Chalobah from Chelsea had a horrible injury on his ankle and I don't think he will play. He's not going to play until May, probably not this season anymore. So Chalobah out and Anderson in. Van Dijk, I kept Van Dijk. They play against Brighton away, and I kept Matty Cash from Aston Villa. He's just back from an injury. Cash played yesterday for Aston Villa, 20 minutes. So he is available. He will start normally against West Ham United at home. So I had to make 2 transfers, otherwise I wouldn't have enough players. On midfield I made 1 transfer. I put Ouattara Danko in and Semenyo out. Semenyo is not going to play. I transferred him out. And Danko I put him in. And I kept Enzo Fernandez against Everton away, Danko against Leeds United away. I kept Stach against Brentford at home, and Bruno Fernandes against Bournemouth away is my captain. But again I made 1 transfer, extra transfer, Danko instead of Semenyo. So I'm going to play with 4 defenders, 4 midfielders and 2 forwards. I kept obviously Pedro and Thiago. There's no reason to transfer them out, but if you look at the bench, then you see now the bench. Gabriel doesn't start, Reis doesn't start and Haaland doesn't start. There's not much room for error now. I just have 11 players, but I had to make 3 transfers to make sure I had 11 players. So the point now is I'm losing 8 points because of 2 extra transfers, 2 hits. So the 2 players I got in with Anderson and Ouattara, because Hall I was going to put him anyway, Anderson and Ouattara Dango have to make 8 points to make up for that. Now Anderson plays against Burnley at home. He needs a clean sheet to get some points. Ouattara Dango plays against Leeds away, not an easy match, but he might have an assist or make a goal. But even if they do nothing, they still got 4 points. But they will get at least normally 4 points. So then they lose 4 points. So it's not a total disaster. But I expect either Ouattara or Anderson to get a few points. It is a very, very weird game week. I think we're all struggling. Do we use the free hit? Or can we get away with it? But the point is, and be aware of that, in game week 34, there will be another blank game week, and normally City is not going to play, or Liverpool, one of the 2, Arsenal, Chelsea. So Chelsea is not going to start, Arsenal is going to play, and Liverpool or Manchester City. and also West Ham United or Leeds United. So be aware of that. So game week 34 is probably much more difficult than this game week, but only 3 or 4 teams not start. Game week 34 maybe a lot more. Will be more difficult. So I want to keep my free hit as long as I possibly can. I still have my free hit now for game week 34. But all in all, it will be a very difficult, a very interesting game week without Arsenal and without City playing. So it will be very, very difficult. And the match between City and Crystal Palace is not going to be played in game week 31. Not in game week 32. We don't know when. Crystal Palace qualified for the quarterfinal of the Conference League. So Manchester City Crystal Palace will be played in game week probably 33, but is not sure yet. Maybe 34. Be aware that the deadline is today. The deadline is today, Friday, today at 6:30. So be aware of that. Today that's match Bournemouth Manchester United at 8 o'clock. So the deadline is 6:30. So be aware of that. That today. So there's not much time more, but till 6:30, and then the deadline, and then Bournemouth Manchester United at 8 o'clock. And be aware of that. So that was the end of the video. I talked about my final team for game week 31. In the next video, which will be normally on Monday, I will do a review of game week 31.